The beginning of the end. About 3 weeks ago I saw my wife while she was getting out of a car that was from a coworker of hers. Didn't think much of it until I saw her face turn white when she saw me. Since I work a job that gives me little free time, except on weekends, she wasn't expecting my arrival where she works. After that episode I played dumb, pretending that I had no suspects. Gave her a hug and a kiss and after a while left without asking. So, I decided to keep a close eye on her behavior just to see if I was overreacting about my thoughts. Nothing seemed to be out of place. Good bonding, great family nights with kids, etc. We don't go out much because we enjoy staying together, the four of us. Must say she is a great mom. Then last week I decided to repeat the surprise at her job during her lunch break. While I was waiting outside the building she came out with that same coworker. So, I just stood and watched. She got in his car and left, and I followed them thinking to myself how nuts this is. I lost them cause of the heavy traffic, so I decided to go back at her work and wait for them there. They came back with 10 minutes of delay, the break is 1 hour, waited till she came out and popped up behind her with an hello love. The embarrassment from them was clear. I presented myself wanting to know his name, and then asked what was going on. They tried to play it cool saying that they had gone on lunch like usually. So, without any proofs I had to play it dumb again also this time and pretended that it was okay. Also, to not seem like a freak. A little backstory. We are happily, or I thought so, for over 17 years, and we have 2 wonderful kids, D14 and S7, both very smart and well educated. Never had serious problems in our marriage. I was her first and only, never even kissed before, and this is what starts to make me wonder. We live in Italy. Question, do I have a reason to be paranoid? After all, we are a great family unit, and she always tells me how much she loves me. Am I getting obsessed? 10 minutes of delay on 1 hour of break, so excluding the drive they were gone alone a good 45 minutes. Sorry, my English is rusty. I was thinking only to try again going at her sometime this week. But I will for sure check her cell and computer. She is always the same mother and wife as of our married life. But the way she reacted when I first saw them and of all her coworkers always with the same person really lights my fantasy. The only other red flag is when at night for less than an hour she posts and checks out Facebook. But I have her contact and she never put posts or likes on things that might be alarming. Her phone is never locked and she leaves it anywhere. Like I said, if it wasn't for this coworker that gets to my sixth sense I would not be so paranoid. I actually told her the other night why she be having lunch with always the same person and not with others, and she just laughed at that, saying that she knew that I was going to ask. What she said was that they are working on some papers that need to be done very soon, so that's why they have lunch together. I think I should cool off for a while and wait. Why not tell me about it? If there is something rotten going on, for sure I will not handle it with forgiveness and she knows it. And as I know of, this is the only coworker or man in general where she gets in a car with alone. It is very not correct the way she acted, but since we have a wonderful family and life I just can't understand. We are both in great shape. I'm 47, she is 40, but we both look like if we have 10 years less and we both are average weight. I can have a friend who can help, but one of the reasons why I am on an outside website is because I would first prefer to keep it only to me without involving nobody from my area. My plan will be to keep my cool and act as nothing is wrong. Then I will check out again at her work with the help of a close friend of mine. He has a motorbike and, in the traffic, there is no problems. In the meantime, I will be more cautious with controlling better the situation. When we first met over 22 years ago, she was 18, I was 24. She was that typical girl who was too much serious. One that would drive away many guys who were looking only for fun. She was a classic home and church girl, never had a boyfriend, and the few that tried to be with her gave up after seeing that she wasn't easy. So, when I first met her I had just finished my military service and immediately realized that she was the one. Long story short, she accepted to date me after 6 months of courtship. And our first kiss happened after 5 dates. After almost 5 years together we got married, 1997, and in 1999 our first girl was born. All was perfect. We did everything on our own without help of our families since they have health issues that need serious medical attention. But we were making it fine. Then in 2007 our 2-day son was born and we bought a new house, and up to now we managed together to be a happy family. No nights out unless all 4 of us are together. I only go out on Wednesday evenings to play soccer with my friends, and many times she comes along with the kids and other wives with their kids to watch. We always go every weekend to our parents' house, once to hers, once to mine, and every summer we go on vacation all 4 of us. In a few words, I thought we had it all. Now this happens and I am really conflicted about it. Could it be possible? Can't put a VAR in a car because she goes to work on feet, about 20 minutes away, and only uses the car to take the kids at the swimming pool twice a week. The other times I drive it. Don't know nobody that can keep an eye on her at work because they are in good relationships, and if I try to ask, she will be the first to know. This evening I have my soccer game and also that good friend of mine that plays. We know each other since we were 14. He is the brother I never had. I was thinking to ask him a favor. I already know that he won't say no, but also that he will be a bit shocked at my request. I will ask him if he would go at lunchtime and check out the situation. My wife knows that day I can't pop up due to my work. Who knows? Also, I checked her cell last night when she was in the shower. Nothing. I think she understood it immediately, and that was also the reason she turned white. We never dealt with this situation before. Never gave each other reasons. What I think is that since she is 40 and had only me in her life, that I hope she likes the attention. But in the past, it never happened. She is very attractive. When she was younger, many told her that she looked like Sharon Stone. For me, she's even better. As for me, I was already independent at 14. When I met her at 24, I had already a full baggage of experiences. Traveled a lot in Europe and also the US, so that's why I fell for her as soon as I met her. Not for her looks, but for her ideals. And since we were total opposites, that's also why it took me 6 months for a date. Can she start only now to want new things in life, now that her kids are self-sufficient? That's what I think. But you are correct. I need to talk to her about this, but not before my friend does that favor for me. The friend of mine is far better than a PA. If he smells smoke, he will for sure find the fire. We barely ask each other favors, so when it happens, we do it good. In about 3 hours we will meet, play soccer, then go for a glass of wine. The two of us, just got back home. After the game I talked to my friend. I explained to him what I saw and what I was feeling. He didn't even let me finish and said to me that if I wanted, he had this week off. He is in the police, and if I wanted to let him help me. From my smile, he didn't even wait for me to answer. He said that tomorrow and Friday he would be at her workplace and see what's up, and if there is something happening, he will give me all the info I need, even the other man's address and past history. He also tells me that I should stay calm and patient and pretend that all is fine. Easy to say but hard to do. So, we gave each other a hug, and he will call me tomorrow right after her lunch to let me know if what happened. Can't believe I'm doing this. Well, I saw her only twice because those are the times I went there. But I don't know if it's a daily thing. Also, I won't mind if she goes out for lunch with a coworker, but not often and in a car when you have other places nearby to go eat. It comes by itself to not push a situation with other people of opposite gender when you are married, man or female. And it's not only respect, but also for avoiding useless problems. One of the reasons why I married her was because she had great morals. For sure, I will not blow out something without solid proof. But if something is going on that I will be certain of, then not even 40 years of marriage will make me change my mind on leaving her. If she has feelings for OM, she can have him. But out of my life and out of our house. I don't like the idea to win her back in that case. She only uses her smartphone for internet, and besides Facebook she logs on YouTube. She works in a government branch, very important. Don't think VAR are a good idea. OM, he works in a particular and delicate area of the police. Let's say that he doesn't use a uniform to work. Just got the call from my friend. He waited at a safety distance. She knows him, and by 12:30 saw her get out with 2 other females and 1 male, the coworker. All 4 went to the bar across the road and had something to eat there. He waited until they finished. Once they got out, they stayed a bit together, and first one and then the other female coworker left, and my wife with the stayed sitting outside on the tables talking. He said that we're very confident, not like a usual coworkers usually behaves. After that she walked him to that car of his, and after a cheek-to-cheek kiss, he left and she went back in. My friend got his license plate and model and then left. He said that tomorrow he will be there again, and if something doesn't convince him, he said that Monday he will have one of his men take over. He then told me to stay cool. If something going on, he will find it. I believe him. He is in a special police unit and they are no joke. I have no intentions on letting her know anything. Not going to ask nor going to make her suspicious. I'm playing it dumb. Our bedroom status, always the same lingerie. Not too hot, but not even casual. Our physical life is great. Even over 17 years of marriage we have slept together at least 3 times a week. Sometimes less, other more, but that is the average. It's never always the same. We enjoy changing. We can't have lunch together due to my work schedules. She works from 9 till 4 with 1 hour break, from 12 till 1 I work from 8 till 8 with 2-hour break. Our lunch times are different. I managed the first time to cause my boss needed a ride near her workplace, so I thought I surprise her. That's when it was the white face, and that's why I decided to return again almost a week after. I had a coworker of mine that covered my back for 1 hour. That time again they were together, a bit embarrassed. The third time was yesterday, but it was my friend who saw and called me. Today he will repeat it. Yes, she has seen me a little pissed a week ago when I first saw it, but I think that since then I kept it cool. In fact, she acts normal at home when we are together, doesn't seem to suspect that I am keeping an eye on her. I have been checking her Facebook profile. That man is not in her contacts, and she only has 5 or 6 other male contacts, but family friends. She never logs out of Facebook, so when I digit her nick the password appears automatically. Today my friend told me he will be there again. Eventually this time he said he would take pics of them. You would think that a person who takes up to 6 months just to say yes for a date, and another week before giving a kiss, needs to be told about boundaries. She was the one who gave me some boundaries just from the beginning of our relationship. She knew that I had been around and was fearful I wasn't committed. I truly loved her to the point that I already knew she was the one to share my life with. Ever since we lived a wonderful life, our kids are the proof by the way they are raised. My D15 is on the top 10 of the school best students out of 18. My S7 is on the same road. They see a good family unit and live it that way. In over 17 years of marriage, we probably fought, a bit more seriously, the most 5 times. In these years, she had hundreds of men trying to get to her, and never once give them the chance to even know her name. So, if on one hand we need to talk about boundaries, on the other it's if me telling a plumber how to change a tube. But if nothing comes out of all this in a week, I need to tell her what I feel anyways. I only found out about this guy 2 weeks ago. She usually tells me everything that goes on at work, never mentioned this guy. I don't know if it was only twice or more times that they have lunch, only them two, but for sure she's with him 3 out 3 the times I started to wonder and keep an eye on. Today I wonder if it will be number 4 in a row. For me, a deal breaker is also sharing an emotional attention with other men. But before I start to say anything, I will talk to her, but not now. I will wait 1 more week so I can have more info. Today and Monday there will be someone that will be my third eye. Tuesday I have 2 hours covered and I will go by myself. And if he is still around at lunchtime, we will talk. I will talk. I just finished talking with my friend. Not good. First thing, he didn't call me. He came by my workplace. Just that got me a bit upset. His eyes didn't look straight at mine, and I knew he felt sorry. So, this is what happened. He got there just when she was coming out the building with a group of coworkers, and yes, the OM also. After a few minutes the group split up. Some went to the same place of yesterday, but my wife and the OM decided to go otherwhere. They started walking and were laughing and kidding the whole time. When he saw that they passed the car of the OM without getting in, my friend parked his bike and followed them from distance. 15 minutes after, they stopped at fast food nearby, bought a sandwich and sat on a bench. Once they finished, they started to talk. The OM seemed concerned with something, and what my friend got out off of it was a very confident body language from both. He even passed his hand on her cheek on one occasion and held her hand for a few seconds on another occasion. She didn't mind at all. After that they started to walk back to the building 15 minutes before the break was over and then went inside. He said that there were many signs of confidence between them. He said that he didn't like the way she behaved, that there's something more going on. He took some pics of them, unfortunately not the one where he touched her, but good enough to get me pissed. He also said that Monday he will have a coworker of his to check out again. While he was still talking to my friend, my wife calls me on the cell. God knows where I got the strength to stay calm. Once a month on a Friday, the weekend that we go at her parents' house, she goes ahead of time to help out her brother that takes care of them. Like I wrote before, they have health issues just like my parents. We were to go next weekend, but her brother called saying that if it was possible to switch weeks, and she wanted to know if it was okay. Sure. The only thing I managed to say, and I took it as a sign of God to give me time and not overreact. So before I get home, she will be at her parents' house in a town 1.5 hours away, and I will see her only tomorrow afternoon when I get to be there with my D15. She takes D7. So, I guess that my wife has some kind of double life. We are her stability, her lunch instead is more than a break. I will try to make this weekend the same as always. Can't confront yet until we get back on Sunday evening. Some clarifications. I know for sure she is going to her parents. It's nothing new. We pass all our weekends out of city to go visit her and mine. She called again just to say that S7 and her are on the bus. I spoke with S7 and he was happy as usual. I won't do nor say nothing until Sunday evening when it will be just the two of us. I don't want to upset the weekend cause nothing good would come out of it. I need more proof before exploding. For sure my kids should not be around when I confront, and this is impossible during the weekend. My intentions are to keep my mind occupied. My bro-in-law has some land and I will be going there to work on it, helping him out. And that will help me keep my mind busy. Also, I don't want to let her know yet what I do know. I need to think clearly. I need to study this situation better. I don't think the OM would go in town to see her. Small town, by the way, and he is married with 3 kids. Plus, my wife sleeps in the room next door of my bro-in-law, and it would be impossible to sneak out at night and come back in without being noticed. When I arrive tomorrow, I will ask my bro-in-law about the switch when we will be alone on his land. The town is 1.5 hours from where we live. They don't have a car, but my bro-in-law does, and he would be with his fiancée. I can't believe that can happen. The OM would have to make a 3-hour drive back and forth plus the time to stay. Too risky for a married man, too risky for her to get caught. She doesn't have girls' night out, she never wanted one. Says that the kids need to see us always united in everything. I am the only one who takes a night out, home by midnight, on Wednesdays for my weekly soccer game. Now you understand why I am going nuts. How could it be possible to cheat with this type of thinking? The only possible time would be lunch. In his car. Don't know about other co-workers knowing, but in the room where she works, they have very few, and they get along well. They handle delicate paperwork dealing with public administration fraud, corruption and other crap like that. Found out that he is one of the investigators that passed the paperwork to her. So, their relationship might seem normal to others. And probably they know how to play it well if it's an affair. 2 times I caught her getting out of his car, other 2 was seen by my friend, but after my first 2 times. This makes me think. My head is spinning right now while I'm typing. Can't think straight. I need to stay calm. Very calm, because when something bothers me, I show it. So, I need to concentrate on myself so that tomorrow she won't notice nothing. The worksheet remains in her office. They don't give a copy. There is much surveillance, and every outgoing office needs to be badged. I think that something physical has happened. Probably not every day, but once in a while, yes. And I think that they make it some kind of side satisfaction just for a distraction. I think that it's only something that they need as a vent valve situation. Don't know if I can explain it better. I think that neither of them wants a divorce and go live their lives in fantasy land. My wife is all a woman would want. A good husband, fantastic kids, a great job and nice house, no problems that I know of. Now, if all that I think is true, the problem will be me. Because even if we have all of this, it will be too much of a deal breaker. I can tell you something. If they got physical, and if she has feelings for him, good for her cause, she can have him. But if she hasn't had feelings, then she's really stupid for throwing away our marriage. Monday it will be the coworker of my friend that will go, and she doesn't know him. My friend and his coworkers are in the police, a special force where they are used to follow people. When the touching was made, it was not at the beach but on a bench. I feel less upset now as I had time to swallow the news. In about 1 hour she will call me when I get home. She always does when she leaves on Fridays to see if I got home safe. I also do a dangerous job as a security guard. Then again before she goes to bed for the good night also with my S7. I will tell her that I'm taking D15 for a pizza and in the meantime hide my emotions. During lunch breaks they can go everywhere in 5 minutes car drive. At my or her parents that is almost impossible. Yesterday when I got home I got the call from my wife. She was a bit sad. Turns out that my Bill needed her over cause he was having problems with my MIL and had a hard time dealing with her. He didn't want to say it on the phone to not upset her. My 1049 has a beginning of Alzheimer and also of dementia. She is 82. My Phil had a stroke last year. He is 90 years old and is in bed since then. That news caught me off guard, so we ended up talking about how to handle the situation. Then I told her that me and D15 were having pizza night for dinner, and she thought it was a great idea. So, after that me and D15 went out and had a blast. Like I said, we have a great relationship and she confides me everything. Then on our way back home, out of the blue, she asked me if I was willing to tell her what was wrong with me. Guess I need to work harder on hiding my emotions. I told her that I was a bit stressed out from work and the earlier bad news got me a bit sad. Don't know if that convinced her. Around midnight we got back home and went to bed. I called my wife while I was lying in bed and we chit-chatted a bit. Said that the situation was better and they were all in bed. She had our S7 lying next to her sleeping. Today we will all meet up and I will personally see how things are. I doubt that I will be able to update before Monday, so in the meantime I just hope to pass a calm weekend and concentrate on us and nothing more. During the week afternoons 2 days are out for taking the kids to the pool, 1 or 2 for shopping. She is always home before I arrive. Dinner on the table always. Next week I am going to do my regular annual blood test. I guess that adding STD test won't harm at all. As for a take of action, my friend and I have already got a plan. We need to meet up next week to refine it. I just need to take an afternoon off and stay with my wife all day. But without the kids, to clarify what my action of plan will be. Any correction will be well accepted. My friend thought to go at OMW and pretend he was me. In the meanwhile, I would be with my wife. He would tell the OMW that has proofs of an inappropriate behavior with my wife, and before taking action she should know about it. At that point all we need to do is wait. OM will probably call my wife while I am with her. From there on we will see what happens. We will take it from there. Had a very interesting weekend. When I arrived got a great hug from D7 and wife. Saturday afternoon and evening went down okay. My mother-in-law seemed to feel better. Medicines calmed her down, and a little of stress went away. Had a talk with my bro-in-law that told me he was sorry for asking to switch week, so without me asking he confirmed that it was him. But for a moment he was thinking to take mother-in-law in a clinic and needed my wife to watch over father-in-law. Fortunately, it all calmed down and things got better. So, in the end all went well on that side. Saturday night after the kids were in bed, me and wife laid down on our bed, cuddled and made love. She initiated. After a while we were cuddling. I couldn't not ask a question. It was hard not to. So, I asked if she is happy with our marriage, and if there would be something that she could change, what it would be. She hugged me tighter and smiled, answers that it couldn't be better. Now here is where she caught me off guard. She also said, I just wish that you will always be there for me like now. Why wouldn't I? Cause at 40 I'm starting to have health problems too early. What? Now, just to add something, a little over a year ago she found out that she became celiac. It's nothing big, but it kind of created a little of confusion in our family in the beginning. So now it's no big deal. Then she had other small issues, but again no big deals. Anyway, I told her how much she meant to me and nothing in the world will ever change that. And then to just make a joke to laugh said of course my only issue would be if you cheated never crossed my mind was the answer. After a bit we fell asleep. Sunday was a rainy day, so we stayed home till it was time to head back home. The day ended without any new situations. So now while I am at work I'm wondering what will happen when my friend's coworker call. With my friend we decided just to keep the surveillance and only put our plan in action when I decide to confront. If I confront, this coming week will be clearer, I hope. What my friend told me is that since OM is an inspector, he doesn't have normal breaks, especially when on work missions. Maybe today he had one of those missions. I asked her why she thinks that I might not be there in the future, and she joked about her health's small problem, and that since up to now I have no problem, that I would find a new woman to replace her. It was all said with a smile and not serious, but anyway it got me thinking. My comment: you had a good weekend. Your wife made a comment that has thrown you for a loop. In one sentence she has you doubting yourself, that you're paranoid, old, probably seeing things that aren't there. Mission accomplished. Your wife is smart. She is 2 steps ahead of you when it comes to your prodding. She's proven it twice now. With her I knew you asked me that and will you be there like now comments. Let's not forget the facts. She was caught getting out of a male's car twice. She continues to go out to lunch with the guy. The guy has initiated physical contact when alone. Your wife and OM are very confident and comfortable with each other when alone together as observed by neutral party. You will see for yourself tomorrow and you will know what you're dealing with. Be prepared. Part 2 coming tomorrow morning. Sub and bell and see you in part 2.